Hello, my name is Megan Varner, and I am a health and wellness coach and physical therapist working with individuals with POTS and chronic fatigue to help them rebuild their energy and learn how to thrive again in their lives. I'm very passionate about working with this population as I myself have these conditions along with a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and have been navigating and learning to thrive with them over the last decade. The topic for this video comes both from my own journey and questions from working with quite a few clients and other acquaintances that I have with these conditions from support groups and friends, even some family members. Why do I get so tired when I take a shower? It's a really good question, and before I give some insight on it, I want to point out that what I'm sharing is for informational purposes only. It's really important to consult with your care team before trying any new tips that you may hear from someone such as myself, as we're all on our own journey, and they can give you more specific guidelines as to what you can do to help improve your symptoms. But hopefully this will give you some good topics to discuss with them, and you're welcome to drop comments below the video or reach out to me to talk one-on-one as well. So back to the topic. I say quite a bit as I learn from my own journey, and again, my experience with clients is first, understand what's going on with your body in order to figure out steps to take to help improve your symptoms in that situation. So showering can be triggering for POTS symptoms because of a couple of factors. So first of all, and I'll talk about bathing in a second, when you're showering, you are standing there statically. You're not moving. So that naturally, when you stand up, more of your blood pools into your abdomen and your pelvis and your legs. So you kind of think about like a balloon when you sit it up on its end. And as you stand there, more blood pools. Now, for those of us with POTS, the reflex of our vessels to squeeze or vasoconstrict and push all that blood back up to our heart and our lungs isn't working quite as well due to changes in our autonomic nervous system's responses and some other circulating hormones and chemicals in our body that are associated with it. So, when we're standing there, that pooling of blood in and of itself can raise our heart rate. That combined with when you shower, you are exposed to a warm environment. The hot water, the steam of the bathroom, heat in and of itself is a trigger for POTS, just like standing. And because heat for everyone dilates your blood vessels, it can pull more blood down and make it sit down in your lower half in your abdomen more. So when that blood is sitting there and it's not getting back up to your heart and to your brain, you can start having more orthostatic symptoms with the higher heart rate, the brain fog, dizziness, maybe feeling like you're going to pass out, potentially passing out, which is never great in the shower, and feeling maybe more GI pain or cramping, just to name a few, if you're having curiosity about what orthostatic symptoms mean. So this response of elevating our heart rate can shift our nervous system into more of a sympathetic or fight-flight state. So, and when we are in more of this sympathetic or fight-flight state, it's like putting our foot on a gas pedal, which burns through our energy or our gas, leaving us pretty drained after we take a shower. You feel like you've run a marathon. Your heart rate has been kind of high and your body is trying to adapt to this stressful environment. There's also kind of an aspect of showering that I thought it was just me for a while, and then working as PT and working with clients, I've also heard quite a bit is I get more dizzy when I shower if I put my hands over my head to like wash my hair or reach for shampoo. And then of course there's also if you're bending over, reaching for something down below and coming back up, which can be triggering for some individuals with POTS because we have trouble regulating the distribution of our blood and a what's called the baroreflex. So basically figuring out what's going on with our blood pressure and our heart rate when we are static and when we are moving. So that is actually there for a reason as well, why the movements and the arms overhead can provoke more symptoms. I wanted to touch on this just because it was kind of weird to me for a while. You're having more blood pool down potentially away from your normal circulation throughout your body, but you're also making your heart work harder when you put your hands up overhead. So there are some tips to help with that, which is my next piece of what I want to share. Now that you understand what's going on, and you can apply this similarly to if you're taking a really hot bath. If you're sitting in a hot bath, you are still sitting there statically, and that hot water is causing more blood to pool. It's raising your heart rate. Just being static in the bathtub, you can have pooling. And again, if you're moving your arms around, you can be raising your heart rate up too. So that can put that stress trigger on the body. So all of that said, it may sound like, well, how am I supposed to take a shower with POTS if all of this is happening? Well, one of the, I guess, most helpful pieces for myself and quite a few of the people I've worked with is thinking about the time of day that you're showering and or taking a bath. If it's going to take energy out of you, or if you're going into it in a very high heart rate, sympathetic fight-flight state, and you're putting yourself to expose it to more of a stressor, your body's going to struggle a bit more. So finding ways to shift yourself out of that fight-flight, sympathetic, higher heart rate state into more of a regulated, lower resting heart rate state can be helpful. I've talked about this on a couple of my other videos talking about adrenaline surges. I can link some of those below the video to check them out. But being well hydrated and having some electrolytes in your system before you shower, so rolling right out of bed and showering, you might want to consider getting some water in you. Some individuals do well if they shower after they've drank and had some electrolytes and eaten something. Something to consider is having a really big meal and then taking a shower can potentially kind of magnify those high heart rate and other orthostatic symptoms, because when we eat, blood naturally goes to our stomach, so it shunts it away from our brain, away from our heart to help digest our food. So having something in your system is helpful for your blood sugar, but not having a really big meal or eating and then suddenly jumping in the shower if you can time it during your day for that. It can also be helpful to prep yourself before you shower by doing something else that can help train your baroreceptor reflex to be more sensitive and responsive, and to help train your body to engage the brake of your nervous system more, or the vagal brake, some refer to, through a method called HRV biofeedback. I do this with clients and I like to bring it up, but a place to start is looking at something called slow-paced breathing, where you're doing a nice even inhale. It's typically around like 5 seconds for the vascular system, and a nice even exhale. It's really neat to see what the pacing of your breathing, especially with biofeedback, can do, as it helps you with your blood pressure regulation. It helps you with your vascular tone, so that squeezing of your blood back up to your heart and your brain, and with that baroreceptor reflex, which is what regulates your heart rate and your blood pressure, both at rest, but when you're moving as well. So that said, what do you do once you're in the shower? Well, from my rehab background, I like to bring this up, and it's a part of life to consider this. Some showers have a built-in bench. It's great to have those, or you can get a nice sturdy shower chair. It's not going to tip over, or a shower bench that's removable if you share your shower with someone else, and a nozzle head on your shower to be able to pop it down so you're not reaching up overhead as much and you don't have to bend over as much. Having all of your beauty products that you need, soap, hair supply, hair shampoo, conditioner, so you don't have to reach and bend over, can also be helpful. Getting a little caddy or something for that. That's something I've actually found very helpful as I've gotten a little bit older, so that you're not having to reach and twist and bend. Something else that can be helpful, if you have something to hang on to and your balance is pretty good, is you can put one foot up on a ledge potentially. Again, be very careful with how slippery things are. You don't want to fall in the process of trying to regulate your blood pooling, but that can just shift the blood so there's not quite as much in one leg of you. You can also wash your hair, if you have long hair like me, by not tipping your head back or putting your hands overhead, but more washing to the side and lathering and using that detachable shower head to get rid of it so that you're not having to put your arms up overhead and getting that heart rate up as high. You can wash different zones of your body per shower. That may sound kind of odd, but don't think you have to wash head to toe every single time. That can really be energy saving. I've done that with myself in my own journey with quite a few surgeries related to EDS to manage my symptoms so that I do not provoke them and get so tired as I'm recovering from the surgery. And this one, people usually kind of bulk out a little bit, but it can really help. You turn the water temperature down some. Taking super hot showers really can stress your nervous system, can really dilate your blood vessels. So if you turn that water temperature down, even just a little bit, it can make a difference. If you're able to kind of turn it to lukewarm and then maybe back up, if you're not able to tolerate it. And there is good evidence out there that cold showers actually can help your immune system and can help you with boosting your internal thermostat regulation. That is a stressor to go from really hot to really cold, and I'm not necessarily suggesting that for those of us that already have some taxing issues with our nervous system with POTS, but some it works. I am more so of just turning the temperature down so it's not as scalding hot and seeing how you do with that. And trying to keep the steam down in the bathroom so it's not super hot when you get out of the shower. When you get out of the shower, being able to sit and get dressed and dry off so that you're not at that high heart rate pace. You can also use the slow-paced breathing that I referenced. Not necessarily the HRV biofeedback unless you have like a waterproof device that you're hooked up to something like your phone. But I actually turn on different apps on my phone that cue me to breathe because holding your breath can actually elevate your heart rate for many of us. So you're breathing throughout the shower, and if you have a timer on how long you're breathing, you can realize how long you're in there. So you're not really losing track of time with how long you're there. And when you get out of the shower, I'd like to wrap up with saying that something to help cool your body down can be helpful if you feel like your heart rate is staying kind of high. I like to use a ice cap. There's different ones. They're actually migraine relief caps. There's different ones out there that I've seen on Amazon, or like a gel pack to just cool my body down if the shower is warmer. It may be that you're at a point in your journey where lying down and putting your feet up and putting some ice on it to bring your heart rate down is helpful. I do like to point out to clients that if you do have extremes in your heart rate where it's really high and then it dips super low, ice can not always be the way to go. More of the regulated breathing and some other mind-body practices I've talked about in some of my other videos, but I like to teach a variety of them to clients. But I want to put a little word in here for that can help you with bringing your heart rate down after a shower. So I hope that this gave you some ideas to talk to your doctor about and to think about implementing so that showers are not so fatiguing for you and you're able to feel better after them and go about your day and not feel totally wiped out by doing a shower. If you'd like to learn more about what I do as a health coach and a physical therapist, you're welcome to reach out to me. My email is megan.varner@guidetoresilience.com. And I do offer a free 45-minute discovery session with anyone that is potentially interested in working with me. You can drop a comment below this video or email me or check out my website. The link is also in my channel for that too and below the video. So realize that day by day you can rebuild your resilience and figure out how to gain more energy to thrive in your life.